Dad? Say go, Daddy? Go, Daddy.
Welcome in here, race fans, tonight to the Thompson Speedway, one of the most historic short tracks in America. Opened back in May 26th of 1940, this historic track has seen some of the best short track racing action ever. Bugs, Schultz, Bouchard, Cleary, and a name of others like Bodine, Hendrick, Fireball Roberts, and Harbaugh have all raced here at the historic grounds here at the Thompson Speedway. Located in Thompson, Connecticut, this track dates back, like I said, to 1940. What were you doing back in 1940, race fans? Well, I can tell you, I don't know. I don't have a clue. I was born in 1990. I'll date myself here tonight for all you race fans. But this track has seen drivers in modifieds, street stocks, hobby stocks, legends, and of course, super late models. This track is also home to our friends up at the Racing School. Tonight's sponsor actually here at the Speedway. TheRacingSchool.net is having an event on April the 17th. Make sure you head on over to their Facebook page, and also make sure to head on over to the website at TheRacingSchool.net. Get yourself a driving experience like no other. Yes, we can sit here on iRacing and we can bring you this great coverage here tonight as we look down upon this beautiful track with the lights on, but it does not beat the real thing of being able to strap into a modified or a late model and get to feel the real thunder in your bones. And of course, if you do pick up a package from the Racing School, make sure to mention Red Light Racing to save yourself a little bit of extra coin at the end of the night. Get 20% off a driving package, 50% off when you mention Red Light Racing. There's also another big little prize here. Check this out. This just dropped out of the Racing School a little bit ago. If Mike or Dan win tonight for the Racing School 100 at Thompson here on Thursday night, the driver that finishes back into the 12th position will win 75% off any driving package in one of their late models. They have a brand new one that they had just rolled out of the shop the other day. It is ready to go for any of these drivers that are able to pick up that package here tonight. Of course, if they do win tonight here, well, they can get themselves 20% off just to start. So if any one of these drivers go out tonight and win, they'll get 20% off a booking with the Racing School. That's a pretty cool little gift, but it looks like we are set. Ready to head down trackside tonight for our Six Rings Racing starting lineup, and this is how that will shake out here tonight. Starting on the front row, driving the Higgins Hill Racing number 40, this is Rob Higgins. To his outside, driving the number 8, it is the Racing School man, the Racing School number 8 of Dan Butler. Behind them, driving the number 94 here tonight, Daniel Tobin Jr. will roll off in the 3rd position. 4th will go to the 11 out of Ayer, Massachusetts of Sean Single. Blade Timmons in the number 23 will roll off 5th here tonight. Max Terriel is 6th. 7th will go to the 99 of Mark Jenkins. Mike Taschereau in the Racing School, number 33, will roll off 8th. Justin McDuff out of New York in the Empire Race Team, number 20, will go 9th. 10th will go to A.J. Hamill, last week's winner. 11th will go to the 1 of Dalton Williamson. 12th will go to the 89 of Rob Jenkins. Starting into the 13th position here tonight, it's the Culpeppers, number 14 of Brian Bianchi. The driver out of South Glen Falls, New York, drives the number 96, and this is big boss man Al Smith. He'll go 14th. 15th to the Underdog Motorsports, number 85 of Kenneth Younts. Terry Newmaster in the number 72, making his second start of the season. He'll roll off 16th. Joshua Buckley in the number 2, DraftTop.com entry. He'll go 17th. Brian Hacker in the 11 Illinois rolls off 18th. Bob Higgins in the Checkered Flag Auto Supply, number 41, is 19th. Brand new sponsor on this car here tonight, the number 58 of Kenny Younts. He'll have the 3rd Gen Shiners.com on board that car. He'll go 20th. Johnny Bell in 21st. 22nd to the 24 of John Whitendorf. Starting back to the 23rd position tonight, the number 46 of Justin Smith. Michael Trevarthen is back there driving the 31 tonight. He'll go 24th. 25th to the 63 of Glenn Jameson. Colin Phillip in the 53 is 26th. It'll be Rex Hoyle in the American Tire Distributor, number 54, starting 27th. 28th to the man out of Canada. It's the Canadian Bacon 45 of Tim Williams. Green Forest Free Supply 43 of Joe Streno was 29th. And the 37 NY of Brian Robinson, who had one of the fastest times out onto our practice session. He'll start shotgun to the field. Ready to go racing here tonight in the RacingSchool.net 100 for the Checker Flag Auto Display SK Modified Series. iRacing.com pace car is off the racing surface. Here we go. 100 heart-pounding laps of racing action tonight in the RacingSchool.net 100 as we are green flag racing for the first time here tonight, and it will be 2 drivers down into turn 1. The black and orange car to the inside. That's the 8 of Dan Butler as they work down the back straightaway for the first time here this evening. It'll be the number 40 of Rob Higgins getting his first lap led this season. He'll lead us out of turn 4 down the front straightaway. He does get lap number 1 tonight. As everybody back here stacked up as Dan Butler still works the inside of the speedway. There is the number 11, though. Is a big moment there for Max Terriel, the driver in that black number 42. Max Terriel had to check up real quick because the 8 of Dan Butler wanted to insert himself into the top side of the speedway. He was able to do that, and now Dan Butler holds 3rd. Max Terriel falls back in line into 4th. There is the Racing School number 33. Oh, contact back here. 23 of Timmons is going to go around and back into traffic. As he comes back into traffic, driver still trying to scatter, and oh boy, a couple of them going to pile in here. Timmons has smoke bellowing out of the back end of his number 23 machine. Not a good start for Timmons. Looks like something happened possibly to Johnny Bell also, so we will have to dissect what really happened here. Johnny Bell driving the number 27 red machine there. Let's see if something happened to Johnny Bell as he went down to the corner. Oh, it looks like they rubbed Nerf bars and Johnny Bell went into the outside wall. And then the chaos on the back straightaway. Let's watch. Let's ride on board here. You're riding on board with number 24 of Whitendorf. Oh, man, hard nose-to-nose contact. Then Whitendorf gets run into. I believe that was the 54 and the 41 that were also involved. You see Timmons going to get loose here. Gets a little help with, I believe he might have touched wheels with Tobin. One of them just going to barely miss, and I think that was the 53 of Colin Phillip that just barely missed that wreck. Right on board with the American Tire Distributors. There you see Johnny Bell into the outside wall. Rex Hoyle. See all the smoke and just nowhere to go. You can't see anything till the last second. And Hoyle getting into it. Hard contact for him. So that'll be the first caution flag of the evening here at the Thompson Speedway for the RacingSchool.net 100. For the Checkered Flag Auto Supply SK Modified Series. A lot of those drivers, Bob Higgins, Johnny Bell, Blade Timmons, Rex Hoyle, John Whitendorf, will all have to go to pit road to see if they can get some repairs done. I know where they can go, though. They can head on over to the Checkered Flag Auto Supply located in Ayer, Massachusetts, and possibly pick up a couple parts to fix their modifieds here tonight. Of course, there is your race leader of Rob Higgins. He is sponsored by the Checkered Flag Auto Supply, our main sponsor here tonight on Thursday nights that have been back now for the second season with the Red Light Modified division here. Branded us this season once again as the Checkered Flag Auto Supply SK Modified series for Red Light Racing. So we love to have Bob and Rob and the whole gang up there at the Checkered Flag Auto Supply on board here with us. Local friendly, knowledgeable staff up there at the Checkered Flag Auto Supply. So make sure you head on over to the Checkered Flag Auto Supply if you're up there in Ayer, Massachusetts. You can find them over at 103 Park Street. Well, we're going to restart them here. It'll be 8 laps in the books when we do get the green flag. It'll be Higgins choosing the outside lane with the other Ayer, Massachusetts driver. That's the 11 of Sean Single. That'll be to the inside. Butler will be to the inside of row number 2 with Max Terrill. Green flag back into the air here, racing 8 laps into the books tonight here at the Racing School 100. And it does look like Rob Higgins will be able to hang on to the race lead as they work down the back straightaway as we ride on board with our Culpeppers Bakery and Cafe onboard camera with Rob Higgins. Look at everybody as they try to chase him down. Higgins going to pick up another lap out front, but now he's got the wily veteran 42 of Max Terrill on the back end of him. There's a 33 of Mike Taschereau. You see him in the Racing School entry. He's working his way up through the field here. He's picked up a spot. There's Justin McDuff in the Empire Race Team. J-Mac trying to have himself another solid finish. Finished on the podium last week. A.J. Hamill, though, one of the biggest movers of the race. He was able to win last week at the season opener up there at the Oxford Plains Speedway. And now here he is. He's picked up 6 spots, the biggest mover so far of the evening. He is running in the 4th position. A driver that doesn't get to race in the SK Modified ranks here on iRacing very often, but when he does, he says it's one of the best cars on the iRacing service. So glad to see A.J. Hamill having some success here in the early stages of the season, especially here tonight at Thompson. Dan Butler still behind him, the driver for the Racing School, number 8. Of course, Dan has a lot of laps here at Thompson. One of the driving instructors over at the Racing School. Currently running in 5th, back 3 positions from where he started. A couple drivers still down on pit road. Johnny Bell, Blade Timmons, Rex Hoyle, and John Whitendorf all sitting on pit road. We talked about this driver earlier on, picking up a brand new sponsorship opportunity with his underfunded motorsports team. Of course, picking up 3rd Gen Shiners, the Moonshine Company, who is just starting to roll out orders. So make sure you head on over to the 3rdgenshiners.com and pick up your Moonshine today. Maybe we can get some of that up here in the studio for an after the broadcast cocktail hour, we'll call it, I guess. We're trying to be a little bit fancier about it. But we got to thank the 3rdgenshiners.com for coming on board with Kenny Younts. Right now, Kenny has moved up 6 spots also as he just worked around Newmaster about 2 laps ago. So that puts Kenny Younts running 14th right now in that number 58 machine. Everybody has started to spread themselves out here. There's a good battle as you see the 45 of Tim Williams, the driver out of Canada, and you see the 53. That is Colin Phillips in the Carbon Junction. Oh, contact right there. Contact, around goes the 53 of Colin Phillips off the nose of the 45 of Tim Williams. Both drivers pointed in the wrong direction. See if they can get going here before the race leader comes back around. Joe Strano also looks like he is involved. You saw it live. You saw the bump down in the corner. Carrying a lot of speeds with these SK Modifieds up here tonight at Thompson. Take a look back. Let's see if we can ride on board. Right on board here with our Mechanics Advisor onboard camera with Tim Williams. Maybe Colin just saw himself a squirrel, and oh, that was actually some very hard contact for the 45 BK Paints Platinum RV and Service, number 45 of Tim Williams. Check out the Culpepper's Bakery and Cafe on board here with the Carbon Junction 53 of Phillip. Just even the slightest contact here tonight is going to turn these modifieds around, carrying such high speeds into the corner. All the body weight rolling over onto the right side. And once you tap the left side of these cars, it's just going to spin them right around. What happened to Joe Strano, though, is the question. Oh, right there, the 37 NY of Robinson. And Joe Strano made contact, and then Strano had to turn the Green Tree Forest Supply number 43 around. So it does look like all drivers except for Tim Williams are still out onto the speedway. There you see the 53 of Colin Phillips and Joe Strano right there also. They were able to stay out. Race leader still Rob Higgins. Driver of that checkered flag auto supply, Busch Light Oak Hill Country Club, number 40. Qualified on the pole, virtual of the invert here tonight. So he started on the pole. 20 laps have been completed here tonight. He has led all 20 laps. Well, we talked about how it was A.J. Hamill as the biggest mover of the race. Well, now, since the caution flag came out and a couple cars went around, Brian Robinson has been able to pick up double digits now. He has moved up 12 spots. He sits ahead of the champion a couple seasons back. There you see the 11 Illinois of Brian Hacker. Very bright color, white, purple, and neon green entry driver out of Illinois. Get that one to go marker. And Field's going to bunch them back up. It'll be Rob Higgins, Max Terriel, Sean Single, A.J. Hamill, Dan Butler, Daniel Tobin, Justin McDuff, and Mike Tashroom. The top 8, Mark Jenkins and Brian Bianchi, both are sitting there 9th and 10th currently on the standings. So your points championship leader going to restart on the outside row. Second car in. Waiting for green flag here tonight. Have Thompson come back out, and it's back up in the air, racing again. Gonna be side by side. Oh, a couple of them getting together. Caution lights are gonna come out. One of them turned around. Colin Phillip turned around down in turn number 1. I don't think he was the cause of the issue. I just think he was the innocent bystander at that point, and around his number 53 went. Let's watch this one back. See the big check up to the outside, and it looks like, oh, he maybe just hard on the binders and spun that car around. Went down through the grass. I believe this starts up here. Oh, it looks like the 89 of Rob Jenkins got turned around just a little bit. Get a little help possibly. It looks like maybe Dalton Williamson up off the bottom groove into the NOS Energy drink number 89. That's what's going to cause the big stack up and check up here. Al Smith Jr. was right there also in the middle of that one, but he was able to go ahead and get his way around. Of course, Al having brand new colors this season here with the Red Light Racing Modified Division. Coach's Corner, and of course, Captain Morgan on board. So Al found himself, once the COVID-19 pandemic happened, that, well, Captain Morgan came out with a couple new flavors, and of course, Al kind of dabbled in it, adventured into it. Of course, it looks like the apple flavor was his favorite. So the timing and scoring, we're trying to see with our iRacing officials if it is correct. We thought it was Rob Higgins at the time of yellow, but it looks like it's going to be Max Terriold as our race leader. So the storm from the north has blown in here, and he has taken over the race lead as we work under our third caution flag of the evening. The iRacing officials are telling me that it was just by that Nerf bar that you see there, that gray piece on the car. Well, that was just ahead of the number 40 of Rob Higgins, so that will give the 42 the race lead. Race fans, are you interested in getting behind the wheel of, well, a late model? Well, there's only one place to go, and that's right here to the Thompson Speedway for the racing school. Head on over to theracingschool.net today and sign up and get registered to be one of the lucky few drivers that do get to turn laps here at the Thompson Speedway. On your checkout over at theracingschool.net, make sure to mention Red Light Racing to get yourself 50% off. 50% off, race fans, if you can mention Red Light Racing. I think I might just go apply right now. But first, let's finish this race here at Thompson, because it's been a good one so far here tonight. Max Terrell will lead us into the restart zone. Green flag back up. Everybody going to jockey for position down into turn number 1. Terrell's really going to sail it off into turn 1. Sean Single's trying to do the same thing. One of them up out of the groove. I think that's the 72 with Terry Newmaster. Spinning down the back straightaway. Big pile up. Big pile up, and I believe that's going to be the 11 Illinois of Hackers involved. Looks like the 85 of Kenneth Younce is also involved in his underfunded Motorsports number 85. Possibly Johnny Bell also, who just came back out onto the racetrack. I think this might have started right around the number 31 of Michael Trevarthen. There you see the Menards, number 31, the driver out of Virginia. Let's take a look back here, because it looks like he may get a little off-track excursion. Oh, actually, it started out ahead of him. Being told right about here, our camera crew found it. Oh, Dalton Williamson making contact, and fortunately, it looks like Mark Jenkins was just in the wrong place at the wrong time here tonight. Watching from the drone that we have flying around here tonight. There you see Williamson trying to go to the outside, wasn't quite clear. I believe that was the 58 of Younce was to the outside. There you see the 37 NY. Brian Robinson's involved. Johnny Bell just had nowhere to go. I'm with Brian Hacker. Hacker sees the smoke, and oh, unfortunately, 37 NY. Robinson was right there, and then he got a little help from behind. There's Johnny Bell. And Dan Butler looks like he lost it down to 3 and 4. He was running inside the top 10. He'll now be shown back to 23rd. So it looks like Mark Jenkins is down on pit road with that ultra slim fast number 99. He'll try and get service and back out on to the track he'll come. I don't know if we got a brand new pace car here tonight or if it's just different colors on that iRacing.com pace car. It looks a little bit better than what it was, and at least it's, I guess, not the Mustang out there. We know how we were always frequently visiting the Checkered Flag Auto Supply to get parts for that iRacing.com Ford Mustang, because the lights were always breaking on it weekly on us. So it's good that we have a brand new car. It looks like the iRacing pace car driver did just turn the lights off this time, flick of a switch. A couple drivers down on pit road, though, the 37 NY of Brian Robinson, Bob Higgins, and the number 41 Mark Jenkins, Rob Jenkins, Justin Smith, Dan Butler, and Brian Bianchi, and the Culpeppers, number 14, are all sitting down on pit road along with Rex Hoyle. Johnny Bell is back out onto the track. You see the driver of that number 27, driver out of Pittsburgh. Making a second ever start here on a Thursday evening. We're ready to go back racing as the iRacing.com pace car does make the left-hand turn this time. It'll be Sean Single, Max Terrell on the front row. Here comes that Orca Coolers, empty the tanks, number 18. Now he's going to start on the outside. That's the preferred line here tonight. 34 laps in the books, and it'll be Max Terrell leading us down the back straightaway. Max leading us down the back straightaway. That puts A.J. Hamill battling with Sean Single, and it will be A.J. Hamill. Hamill going to now pick up the second spot. One of them stuck to the inside there. That's the checkered flag auto supply, number 40 of Rob Higgins. Take a look to his outside. That's the 33. That's the racing school.net entry. Shay's Auto Buddy also on board the racing school entry. Right now, Tashiro up to running in the 5th position. Brian Hacker still out here in the 11 Illinois. He's trying to work over Terry Newmaster. Newmaster, one of those rookies this season here with the modified division. Newmaster tries to sail it in. Jameson is also right there on the Raven Graphics Esports. Number 63. Take a look from our Culpeppers onboard camera. Looking back at Brian Hacker in that 11 Illinois, you see the nose piece of that modified. The bumper bars are bent up from being involved in that crash on the back straightaway. Race leaders starting to open it up a little bit. AJ Hamill and Sean Single are still trying to figure out who's going to have the second position. And look who's back there running in the 4th spot, though. It's Tobin. Tobin in the 94 last year was a rookie here on Thursday night. The Twitch streamer. Commander over there. You can watch his onboard footage. We do like to tune in and give Daniel a little bit of a joust every once in a while. Give him a little bit of a hard time, but right now he's focused in. He's locked in right now, race fans. The driver out of Massachusetts is trying up north here to pick up a win before we head out west. We headed to Las Vegas coming up next week. So Tobin trying to finish it off here in the Northeast. Joshua Buckley side by side with Michael Trevarthen. Old Granny Hips in the number 2 as Gaddis Walker kicked out from underneath him, and boy, is he angry here tonight. He was playing some Fortnite before tonight's race, trying to get himself locked in, and right now he follows the number 58. That is Kenny Younts. Kenny driving that 3rdGenShiners.com. Beautiful looking paint scheme for him. He's running in the 10th position. He's picked up 10 spots. So, well, race fans, if I take the shoes off, that is, well, he started 20th tonight. Right now, he's holding that outside groove. Michael Trevarthen, I'm really impressed on how well he's been able to hold the bottom side of the speedway here. Usually when we see one of the drivers venture down to the bottom side, you see the sparks out the bottom of that number 31 Menards entry. Usually, well, the inside doesn't work. Josh Buckley going to try it. He's a winner here already with Red Light Racing here at the Thompson Speedway. He won the prize package for the racing school 2 seasons ago, leading, I believe, just about every lap but 2, possibly, I think it was. Ran away from the field with Dan Butler at the end of that race. Granny Hips is throwing the tennis balls from underneath the Walker out at Kenny. Kenny Younts works the outside. You see that 3rdGenShiners.com 58 out in front of. This is Glenn Jameson's number 63. Beautiful GoPro that we were able to mount there tonight by the Mechanic Advisors. Being a big part of Red Light Racing as of late. Got to thank them for everything they do. Closing in on halfway, though, and it looks like Granny Hips not able to make that inside work. He's going to lose a spot because the 63 of Jameson has got him wound up and ready to go like a rubber band here tonight. Rob Higgins onto the outside here. It looked like, that's the 33 of Mike Tashiro. He was working the inside of the speedway, and then the car just kind of snapped out from underneath him. Al Smith Jr. trying to work the outside. Oh, Tashiro going to insert himself. Dalton Williamson had to hit the hooks in the BK Paints number 1. You see that battle as, oh, Smith gonna tag the bumper there of the 33. He tagged the bumper, and then it was the number 1 of Williamson that really had to throw the boat anchor out the back. Didn't want to hit the old Captain Morgan machine. Looks like Dan Butler in the 8 is back out onto the racetrack. He'll get passed up by the race leaders. He'll go a lap down. Actually looks like he has multiple laps down currently on our timing and scoring. That is the 9th lap that Dan Butler unfortunately just lost to the race leader of the 42 of Max Terriel. This time by, the halfway flags are going to fly here in the Racing School.net 100. Max Terra goes around number 41. That's Bob Higgins going down the lap. Johnny Bell will be the next driver that would be onto the chopping block here tonight. He's had a rough night since the drop of the green flag, getting wrapped up in that caution flag. Just nowhere to go for the driver of the 27 out of Pittsburgh. Looks like he's going to run the inside of the speedway here. In the drivers' meeting before the pre-race show, they were saying that slower cars, if they could, tend to move to the inside here tonight. That's a short track gentleman's agreement, and so far here tonight, all the lap cars or the wounded cars have moved to the inside of the speedway. So Max Terriot still continuing to lead just past that halfway point. But these drivers all still running nose to tail. Looks like Trevarthen had one heck of a run going down the front straightaway. He'll jump to the inside of the 58 of Youts. Will he be able to do anything down the back straightaway, though? Because Brian Hacker's already filled the hole to the outside lane. So the 31 of Trevarthen will not be able to get that outside spot back. Dan Butler still working the inside as they're side by side. They'll go 3 wide momentarily before turn number 1. Dan Butler just going to roll the inside of the speedway, let the faster cars work the outside. Terry Newmaster right there also still. Oh, Hacker into the outside wall. Hacker going to go up against the outside wall, and now Newmaster wants to take the spot. A little contact there. Newmaster will pick up 13th spot for Brian Hacker. That'll leave side by side and more contact behind them. That was the 53 of Colin Phillip. And the 85 of Kenneth Youts. That is a battle for position. And, of course, here comes Granny Hips. Joshua Buckley involved there, too. You see him. Oh, Hacker down to the bottom side of the speedway. They're making contact and more contact. Hacker and Newmaster going to continue to rub rails down the straightaway. You see the Carbon Junction entry to the bottom side of the speedway. Newmaster looks like he may have just overdrove the corner there just a little bit. Now here comes the 53. Of course, Colin Phillip is 1 lap down, it looks like, on our scoring chart. So they settle down the battle for the time being. It looks like Newmaster comes off the corner there, just a little contact to the outside. The 31 of Michael Trevarthen still working the inside of the speedway here, trying to get around Kenny. Oh, Kenny! Hard into the outside wall. Caution lights are going to come on for the 5th time here tonight. What just happened as we were watching, just trying to get back to the battle there between the 31 of Michael Trevarthen and the 58 of Kenny Youts. I think they'll look back here. Did Michael Trevarthen bobble, or... Oh, maybe they both came together there, and unfortunately, Jenkins in the 89, that was Rob Jenkins who just got involved also. Go over top. This is going to really tell us what just happened down here in turn 2. Oh, both of them just trying to take the same room on the racing surface, and unfortunately, Kenny gets turned around. Right on board here. This is with Rob Jenkins. Jenkins thought he was going to be clear of the wreck. He got hit. That was the 53 of Phillip. Glenn Jameson also involved in that. So the caution lights coming back on for the 5th time here. Under 40 laps to go when we do go back racing tonight here from the Thompson Speedway. A lot of cars here tonight going to have to head on over to the Checkered Flag Auto Supply and order some new parts on their way out of town before they head out to the Las Vegas Bull Ring on April the 1st. Or maybe it's Daytona. I can't quite tell. Well, we talked at the top of the show how tonight, if one of the racing school drivers were able to pull off the win here tonight, the driver that would finish back in 12th would get 75% off a driving package. Well, it only looks like there's one survivor so far. That's one driver out of the racing school, I should say, and that's Mike Taschereau. He is running here into the 6th position, the owner and operator of the racing school. Of course, also being a driving instructor over there. Mike had a great finish last week, finishing on the podium. Was a third-place finish for Mike Taschereau last week, and he was in the right place at the right time, he said. And unfortunately, we couldn't get a word in with Taschereau as he was continuing to party early and often last week. So maybe if we can get him back onto the podium, or we can even just at least get him into our team speak, we can get a word in with him at some point. Right now, he's a focused man. He's in the car. You don't want to mess with the focused man. So we'll see if the iRacing.com pace car lights go out this time by. And they will. So it'll be 64 laps officially completed when we go back racing. Handful of drivers. Looks like Kenny Younts has called it a night. The driver of that third-gen Shiners.com entry. He has pulled it behind the wall for the time being. They're going to see if they can get that number 58 machine back out onto the track. So we'll restart here. It'll be Terrill, Hamill, Single, and J-Mac. Great start by Max Terrill, and it looked like Sean Single was going to follow the 18 of A.J. Hamill down into the corner, and then all of a sudden, he exited stage right, and he went to the top side of the speedway. Hamill going to bully his way right up in front of the 20 of J-Mac, and that's how he will get back up to the outside lane. That's going to leave Rob Higgins, the first car, to the bottom side of the speedway. And right now, Higgins is back into that 5th position. Here comes Taschereau. He'll be to the outside of the 96 down the back straightaway. Dalton Williamson also following in the footsteps to the outside groove. The outside is the only place to pass, it seems like, here tonight. Al Smith has a moment he could possibly get up in front of the 11 Illinois of Brian Hacker if he wanted to, and it looks like he's going to leave the outside lane open for the team car there, the 11 Illinois. Of course, both drivers out of that Smith Racing Inc. entry. Entries, I should say, multiple entries to the field here tonight at Thompson. Race leader out of turn number 2, Max Terrill, starting to open up the gap over Sean Single. Sean Single came hot onto the scene last season, was not a full-time scheduled driver in that number 11 out of Ayer, Massachusetts, and then had himself a couple good runs, and all of a sudden, he found himself finishing on the podiums and picking up a couple wins last season. His part-time ride last year turned into a full-time ride this season with the Rev Esports team. They had an alliance at the end of last season, and Sean Single, that's when the fire really got lit underneath that driver's seat, and he had rallied off podium after podium, winning 2 races back-to-back, one at New Hampshire, and I believe the other one possibly was back at Irwindale, so one here in the Northeast and then one out on the West Coast. Sean Single was able to pick up 2 wins last season, and now running in second, under 40 laps to go, under 35 laps to go actually, as the laps are clicking off quick here. Under 20 seconds tonight for all these lap times. Dalton Williamson still hounding the back end here of the racing school number 33 of Mike Taschereau. How about Rob Higgins? Started on the pole virtue of that invert here tonight, and he is still hanging out inside the top 10. I had the pleasure of racing with Rob Higgins a couple of weeks back right here at the Thompson Speedway here on iRacing.com. And boy, did he wear out my rub rail on the back end of my number 39 when we were out there on the Speedway. Rob made one mistake, but he had one fast hot rod, and he put himself behind. And once you get behind on short track racing under a long green flag run, and once you make those tires mad under these high horsepower, very large tire machines, well, you just can't make the ground back up. And Rob Higgins, unfortunately, couldn't catch back up, and I was able to snag the win. Well, I guess we're not talking about that because it's a sore subject for Rob Higgins. He had my number that night, just wasn't able to get back to me and get around. Somebody that's been back around here, that's the number 11 Illinois. That is Brian Hacker. Right now he is running into the 10th position. He is not the biggest mover of the race, nor is the driver behind him, the number 31 of Michael Trevarthen. The honors for the biggest mover right now go to the Green Tree Forest Supply number 43, the driver out of Appleton, Wisconsin. And I asked Joe last season when he picked up the win in the first race of the season as we get under 20 laps to go. I asked him if he's ever seen one of these open-wheel modifieds, and he said no. He said the only time he's seen one of these open-wheel modifieds is right here on iRacing. I guess it's one of those Wisconsin things. I'm not sure what they have out there with the cheese. Joe Strano, though, has picked up 16 spots, and he's all over Tobin. Tobin's going to make a mistake down the straightaway. He's going to put the 94 into the outside wall. Strano checked up. And when Strano checked up, it allowed Tobin to hold serve on that position. Well, we talked about how Sean Single was sitting there in second. A.J. Hamill was third. Well, they're not letting the leader of Max Terrill get away, as your race leader is going to work upon number 27 of Johnny Bell here once again. Bell going to go to the bottom side of the speedway. Dalton Williamson still just cannot find his way around the 33 of Taschereau. 21 laps to go here tonight at Thompson. Race number 2 of the season. Something. Oh, Tobin. Tobin on the front straightaway. That's the 72 of Newmaster on his lid. Caution lights for the sick time are out here tonight. Tobin pulls away, but Newmaster's going to have to take a tow to pit road. What just happened to Tobin? Newmaster to the outside, and Terry into the wall and makes contact. And wow, talk about granny hips being so lucky right there. Unfortunately for Tobin, he's involved. Right on board here with the 2 of Josh Buckley. Talk about splitting them. Buckley, you can open your eyes now. Right there, just Newmaster just barely making contact after making contact with the outside wall. So that'll bring out the caution flag once again here tonight. We're at our 6th caution flag, and it does look like we're going racing with about, call it 15 laps to go here in the RacingSchool.net 100. Race fans, have you forgot what we have here? Remember, if Mike or Dan win tonight here at the Thompson Speedway, the driver who finishes 12th would get 75% off their driving package when they attend the racing school. You know who's running back in that 12th position right now? Yep. If you guessed Josh Buckley, you are correct. The driver that won last time we were here at the Thompson Speedway, picking up the last racing school prize package, and it looks like Buckley with 17 to go. I don't think he's used his tires yet, so the driver out of Massachusetts will come down here, possibly see if he can get his cane out the side and get some tires on that number 2. Let's see if the right sides go up. Right sides are going up, so he does have tires left in the pits. Each driver is given 1 set of tires in each race this season. So Buckley's going to stop here. He's going to put his 2 tires on and see if he can march his way through the field. Should get that 1 to go this time from the flag stand, and it is 1 lap to go here tonight before we go back racing. You know, we talk about the racing school a lot as they put the sponsorship for tonight's race up, and of course the Checkered Flag Auto Supply being the primary sponsor for the SK Modified Division. got to thank the guys over at Six Rings Racing, though, for being a big part of what happens here also on Thursday night. But the stars are still in the cars, and the green flag is back in the air with 15 laps to go. Max Terriel, Sean Single, side by side. Here comes Justin McDuff and the Cerebral Palsy Foundation Empire Racing number 20. J Mac or JT. If you see the picture, race fans, you get the reference. Right now, J Mac has worked himself up to the second position. AJ Hamill, remember, he was running second at one point, finished first last week, came in as the points championship leader. Well, he's back here running fifth now. Side-by-side battle just behind him. That's the 11 Illinois of Brian Hacker. Hacker and Hamill have been duking it out on short tracks all across iRacing for years. Along with Al Smith, you see him in the 96 as Tashro is headed in the wrong direction here late in this one. Tashro still stuck to the inside. The 43 of Joe Strano going to work the outside of the speedway. There's Rob Higgins. He has fallen back just a little bit. Behind him, that's the 85 of Kenneth Younts. Joshua Buckley, remember, has those two new tires on the right-hand side of his modified, so he's working the inside of the speedway. He's able to carry a little bit more corner speed in that number 2 right now. Randy Hips is definitely shaking. Buckley going to work his way back into that 12th position as he just got around Kenneth Younts. DeVarthan still on the speedway. Remember, he was wrapped up in that caution flag also just a little while ago. 10 laps to go as your race leader is really checking out over Justin McDuff and Sean Single. He has a whole second lead over the rest of the field right now as they work down into 3. Sean Single going to bump the back end of that number 20 of Justin McDuff. 9 laps to go. 9 more circuits around the speedway here tonight. A lot of good racing here tonight at this 5/8 mile. Eight laps to go, and Max Terriel still holding strong. Joshua Buckley working the outside here. This is the battle for position. This would put Joshua Buckley into the 11th spot, knocking Rob Higgins, who had a very strong number 40 in the early stages of this one. But the back half of the 30 laps left, the wheels just kind of fell off that 40 machine. Once you wear the good off these big old tires, with the horsepower in these cars, it just doesn't handle quite the same way. Al Smith there, you see him running in the 7th position right behind Brian Hacker, the 11 Illinois Hacker, who runs in 6th. 6 laps to go, and nothing has really changed at the front other than Max Terriel has started to back up just a little bit. Trying to save a little bit as Newmaster is going to work the outside of the speedway here. Your race leader will go to the bottom side. That's actually going to maybe hurt the 42 a little bit. Newmaster going to stay to the outside here, making everybody else work the bottom side of the speedway. McDuff, Single, Williamson, they're all going to get around. It looks like the 11 of Single may have been into the wall. Last time by, we got the hi, how are you, how you doing, 5 laps to go. This time, 4 fingers in the air from the flagman, and it'll just be 4 more laps to go. That race lead, that was 1 second, now down to a half a second. J Mac is coming. He's hot to trot, and he wants to get there. Looking back, though, you see the 11 of Single all over the back end. Free to go for Max Terriel. Nobody has really tried to make any moves here except for the 31 of Michael Marthin, as he's going to get around Newmaster. Remember, Newmaster down a lap to the rest of the field. This time by for Max Terriel. The popsicle stick's going to go in the air. 2 laps to go. 2 laps to go tonight in the Racing School.net 100. Next time by, we're going to pick up that white flag. It'll be 1 lap to go this time by. Max Terriel just wants to see the white flag. White flag is up. 1 lap to go here tonight. Presented by Culpeppers. Culpepper's 1 lap to go is up, and it's all Max Terriel out front here, leading Justin McDuff, Sean Single, this time out of turn number 4. Max Terriel will go to victory lane for the first time here this season. J-Mac going to finish with another podium in the number 20. Sean Single's 3rd to be Dalton Williamson, A.J. Hamill, Brian Hacker, Al Smith sitting there in 7th. Mike Taschereau, the racing school entry, he'll come home sitting back there into the 8th position. As it looks like finishing 9th is going to be Joshua Buckley, and Michael Trevarthen will round out the top 10 machines here tonight. There you see your winner as the fireworks are going off. Your unofficial results scrolling on the left-hand side of the screen. Find where your favorite driver is going to finish here tonight. As we'll be headed to our post-race show here in just a couple of moments. And it does look like that is official, that Max Terriel is the winner here tonight. So he will win the RacingSchool.net 100. He'll pick up the prize package from the Racing School, as he'll get that 20% off, as he'll come down here and he'll show the race fans his appreciation for all of them showing up here tonight virtually to the Thompson Speedway. As we're heading to our post-race show in just a couple of seconds, race fans, don't go anywhere. Hear what your top finishers have to say about an amazing race here tonight. Welcome back here, race fans, to the Thompson Speedway. You see your race winner. He's still sitting down here in front of the flag stand. It's the driver of the 42 of Max Terriel. Let's see if we can go down there and get a word in with the driver of this 42 and see how he feels after 100 laps of hard-nosed racing action. Max, you're able to pick up the win here tonight, but it was a rough one. You weren't handed this one, especially since you had to start outside that top 5. How did you work through the field here tonight to pick up the first win of the season?
Mostly because most restarts I was on the outside, and that one restart where I was on the inside, I just happened to edge Rob before the caution came out, and that was good enough to take the lead from there, and holding on every other restart. So right place at the right time, I guess.
Now, a lot of drivers, when we go short track racing, say that being in the right place at the right time is key. Is there a way to tell when being in the right place at the right time is going to happen? I mean, is there anything that, short track racing, are you able to see anything? Sort of like when we go to Daytona or Talladega, you're able to see ahead of you and you know what's going to happen. Can you see that here at Thompson?
It's very difficult on corner exits. The walls come in pretty fast, and with these air cleaners on top of the hood, it makes it very difficult to see the cars on the outside and right up close. So it's very tough short track racing. It's not an easy track. Also, Thompson, it's tough to run too wide. But we had a good long green flag run in the middle. I think we were due for that, and it was pretty fun to race there.
Well, it was fun to race here tonight at Thompson. How do you feel headed to the Bull Ring? It's going to be a completely different track.
I haven't tested with the new setups and the new updates in the past. It was a decent track with long green flag runs, if I remember right. And with the larger field we have now, I think we'll still have to be patient and go for the long run and make the most of 100 laps to move up front.
Well, before we let you go, Max, the red carpet is out here. Champ, the microphone is yours. Who makes it all possible here on Thursday evenings?
Yeah, my girlfriend, my friend Max at MK Medic, and my dad. I want to shout out to Josh and Dan for admitting this Checkered Flag Auto Supply Thursday Night League. Justin finishing second, and Sean towards about 20 to go. He gave me a good run, and hopefully we have most guys back next week.
Well, there you hear it from the winner tonight. He hails out of Canada. It's going to be the driver of the number 42 of Max Terrell. He'll go to victory lane for the first time this season right here at the Thompson Speedway. Congratulations to Max and that whole crew. I'm sure they will celebrate all the way to Las Vegas, take their winnings here up north, and go out west. Finishing in that runner-up spot is the driver of the number 20 out of the Empire Racing Stables, Justin. Another strong finish here as you wheel and deal this number 20 into another podium finish.
Yeah, I definitely did not deserve to finish second tonight, but just kind of the way it is here at Thompson. You just got to be in the right spot at the right time on these restarts and take advantage of the situation, and that's what I did. I know I was holding Sean up there at the end, but I think I might have had some damage from an earlier wreck, and then I got the wall, not paying attention on that last run, so it was kind of just a mess. But he raced me hard, but raced me clean there, and I was able to hold on for second.
Well, you held on for second. You held off one of those young gunners here tonight that has a lot of speed in his machine. But tell us about your season so far. 2 races in, 2 podium finishes. Not really known for your modified driving ability. Mainly stick to cars that have fenders on it. How's this program really come together?
Yeah. Well, I mostly just run this for fun, honestly. And, it's a good group of guys. I ran a few races last year, and I enjoyed it. And this year, I think I'm going to try to hit all of them to compete for the point series here. But, yeah, I mean, honestly, every trick I go to with these, for the most part, is new. Like, I had never run Thompson with a modified before 7:30 tonight. So, yeah, I mean, it's just kind of learning as I go. I kind of know what feel I need, and then just learning as we go on the fly here.
So Mr. McFly is what we'll call you, I guess, from this point forward. But J-Mac, congratulations on the second place finish and another podium here tonight, who makes it possible back home with the Empire Race Team.
Yeah, well, I gotta give a shout out to my teammate AJ Hamill. He ran up front all night. It was him, Sean, and Max really in the top 3, kind of just swapping it around on the restarts. But he kind of got shuffled out there on the last one. But I felt bad kind of blowing by him on the outside, but it was 20 to go. So you just got to go at that point. But thanks to you, Roger, for the great work you always do on the broadcast. And thanks to Josh. I think tonight was a big improvement over last week in terms of, we had a couple of really long green flag runs. So from an admin perspective, I'm sure that was good for him. And shout out to Empire Racing Team, as you mentioned, and the Cerebral Palsy Foundation.
There you hear it from the driver of the number 20, Justin McDuff, rallies and finishes on the podium for the second week in a row. The driver that finishes just behind him, though, hailing out of Ayer, Massachusetts, it's the 11 of Sean Single. Single, you came to the front here, and you stayed all night long, but what did you need in the closing laps?
I needed a restart on the outside. We were getting crushed on the inside with those restarts, so every time I got up to second, I was just hoping I could either get around Max or I'd maybe drop back to fourth before the caution came out, just so I could get that outside line. Honestly, the restarts were the hardest part. Just if you were on the inside, you were fighting to get to the outside. So tough race, but it was fun.
Yeah, you talk about that inside-outside lane there. How hard really is it, though, to make a pass here at Thompson, especially in these SK Modifieds?
It's super tough, trying to keep the momentum up. I was trying to get to Justin, at least get to his bumper so I could move him up the track a little bit, but I wanted to do it clean enough where I wasn't wrecking him. It was tough, and I gave Max a good run for his money on that long run we had. I was starting to catch on him, and I think I had a chance to at least get to his bumper. So super tough, but you learn a lot here. It's just all about momentum.
Now it's momentum here, and it's tough, and the whole field is tough. It's really hard to really pass any of these drivers. But now, the third race of the season, we head to the Bull Ring in Las Vegas. You talk about tough passing here. How hard is it going to be when the conveyor belt starts out at the Bull Ring?
It's going to be wicked hard. Well, for one thing, I can't stand that track. I am absolutely garbage there. So it's going to be a very interesting race next week. I don't know where I'll start. I think I'll start I want to say 9th. So it's just going to be about learning the track a little better and just making sure that I can make those passes clean and get back up to the front.
Well, before we let you go, so I know you and that whole Rev esports team is going to be out there practicing at Las Vegas right after this one to get the jump on the rest of your competition. Who made this all possible back home?
I got to thank my mom and dad. I need to thank the guys over at Rev Esports. Dalton actually let me come up into the outside lane on that last restart, so I definitely got to thank him for that. The sponsors, I want to say it's BK Paints, Platinum RV Services. I can't remember if there's any other ones. I think I said my mom and dad already. My roommate and his girlfriend behind me, Dan and Carrie, they've been watching me race tonight, so gotta thank them as well.
Well, not only does Sean Single have fans out there watching in the virtual reality or virtual world here on our YouTube and Facebook feed, he also has fans that are sitting right behind him, right behind his sim rig, cheering him on here tonight at the Thompson Speedway as he finishes in the 3rd position. It'll be a great points night for Sean, and we'll see if he can carry that momentum. And what do you say, race fans, for the youngster that just finally remembers all the sponsors over there with the Rev Esports? So we're giving him a break. We know he's new to the team, and he had to learn all those sponsors, so congratulations to Sean Single for finishing on the podium here tonight. But those are your top 3 finishers tonight as we're getting ready to leave the Thompson Speedway. And it's sad every time we have to leave the Thompson Speedway, of course, home to the racing school. Well, it's sad that we're leaving here virtually, but you're still able to, race fans, if you head on over to theracingschool.net. If you click and get yourself a racing package, and on checkout, I'm telling you this, race fans, on checkout, type in Red Light Racing, and that will get you 50% off. Now, one driver that's not eligible for that 50% off now because he just went out and already won the package here tonight. That is Max Terrell. He is your winner. Let's see if we can take a quick look at our race results here. Let's see if we got that all fixed up. And there it is. There's your race results here tonight for the RacingSchool.net 100. You see those top 12 drivers? Well, we're going to invert here at the end of the night. That's how we do things. We don't qualify anymore here with the Checkered Flag Auto Supply SK Modified Series. We're going to invert those top 12. So Rob Higgins and Joe Schredo should start on the front row next week, while Max Terrell and Justin McDuff and Sean Single should start there 12th, 11th, and 10th on the grid. Kenneth Younts, you see him right there, 13th tonight with Terry Newmaster, Daniel Tobin, Johnny Bell, and Justin Smith inside the top 17. Brian Bianchi and the Culpeppers, number 14. He'll finish 18th here tonight. 19th will go to Bob Higgins in his Checkered Flag Auto Supply entry, number 41. Brian Robinson back there in 20th. The Racing School, number 8 of Dan Butler back in 21st. Glenn Jameson was 22nd with Kenny Younts in his brand new 3rdGenShiners.com entry, finishing 23rd. 24th was Mark Jenkins. He had some issues here tonight. Colin Phillips was wrapped up in one. Rob Jenkins was also caught up in a wreck. Tim Williams, Blade Timmons back in 28th. 29th goes to Rex Hoyle. 2 disappointing races back-to-back for him. And, of course, John Whitendorf, also a disappointing finish here tonight at the Thompson Speedway. Well, race fans, it's that part in our show where we have to get ready to say goodbye. But for everybody at the Racing School, everybody over at Checkered Flag Auto Supply, Red Light Racing, and all of our other sponsors here tonight, we thank you for tuning in, and we can't wait to see you at the races.